Hello, everyone. Welcome to my presentation on AI 900, Microsoft Azure AI Fundamental. So when I first got this invitation to, it's the sixth session of the overall series that Azure India is organizing. So when I first got this invitation to take this session, I was a bit concerned, because it's a massive topic and covering everything in 1 hour or 1.5 hours is gonna be hard because I believe whenever I'm taking session these days, I find a lot of attendees who is new in this domain in AI. They have the experience in the development, but again, they're not that much have work experience in the AI data scientist industry. So, okay. So, keeping that in my mind, I designed today's presentation. So, I designed it in a way where we will talk about what is Microsoft Azure AI. So, what are the things that they are covering, and what are the things you need to learn, what are the things you need to practice, and I will also give some demo and just walk you guys through the different sides of Microsoft Azure AI. And as I take a lot of sessions all in a regular basis and all over the world. What I have noticed that because of COVID, all these sessions are happening online. One bad thing that I've noticed is when it was offline, I was able to see the in-person expression, how people were taking the session, they're getting the information or not, they're taking it properly or not. But right now, because of COVID, it is a bit weird that I'm just looking at the camera and just talking to myself. So I don't know how audience is taking the sessions and everything. So for that reason, I have changed the way of today's presentation. So every time I give show a demo, small demo, I will also I have added some sample questions, and I will ask you guys the question, and you guys can answer it on the chat so that it will be more interactive, and you will also see that what kind of exam questions you can expect. So there will be 10 to 12 questions throughout the presentation. So I believe it will help you a lot to prepare for the exam. And before I jump into the presentation, if I just talk a bit about myself, I'm Rahat Yasir. Welcome everyone. It's a nice sunny morning in Montreal, Canada. So I work at Auxidia. It's a French software company as their lead AI developer. We design AI models, AI applications, mostly for automation, manufacturing, and construction industry. Other than that, it's been like 8 to 10 years I'm working in this domain in AI. It's been 6 years. I'm a Microsoft MVP in AI. And also back in 2018, I got Canada's Top Dev 30 Under 30 award. Okay, so stop me anytime whenever you guys want and ask me as many questions as you guys want. I want to, as I said at the beginning, it will be impossible to cover everything in 1 or 2 hours and make you guys the AI expert in 1 hour, which is not possible. But at the same time, I want to touch everything that is related to AI 900 exam, and I want to give as many information as possible along with some demo. And also I want to give you the vibe or the idea of the question pattern. So today's agenda, so things we will cover are Azure AI overview, and before that I will also at the beginning talk a bit about as AI, machine learning, data science, those things. And then Azure AI is divided into four specific domains. One is Azure Machine Learning. It's a tool for AutoML designer for machine learning application, cognitive service, custom vision, and conversational AI. So I will talk about those all of them one by one. So the first one is, as we are hearing a lot of hype about AI and data science and machine learning. So what is AI? So AI is nothing. It's just the way we programmers were writing code. We were setting up all the rules manually through if-else, through different kind of rule engine, those ways, not properly adjusted, not through a justified way. What AI is doing, AI is learning the pattern from the data, and AI is taking doing the same thing, but not in a manual process, in a data-driven process. So just if you think about human, So what humans are capable of, we have the cognitive senses. We can see, we can hear, we can understand, we can take decisions based on that. So to our mobile, web, or like our softwares, we want to give this idea. We want our softwares to have the ability of cognitive senses to understand images, to understand conversation, to understand about the knowledge base, to understand more deeper, to take decisions. So that is AI, to give our software that cognitive capability. So we also hear about like machine learning, data science, deep learning, those things. So some people think AI is machine learning is deep learning is data science. Not really. AI is the full domain where machine learning is a subdomain of AI, and deep learning is another subdomain of machine learning. And data science is something that is actually overlapping with all and connected with all. To design any kind of machine learning application, you need to have data science steps. To design any kind of deep learning applications, you need to have data science based data processing. So that is why it is very necessary. Okay. If we, it's like a small overview of machine learning, data science. All of them are different from each other. So if we move forward a bit more, when we design AI applications, everything is like your success of the application depends on the data, how good or bad the data is. So when we hear about data, we mostly think, okay, it's just an SQL table or Excel data or something like that. Data can be in different format in different types. So in general, in machine learning or AI industry, we divide data into three categories: category one data, category two data, category three data. So all the application you will design in AI domain will follow in one of the three categories of data type. And also like all the AI 900 exam, all the questions you will get, they will also like from one of the three categories, mostly from category one, but there will be questions from category two, category three data as well. So now the question is category one. What is category one data? So my screen is not shared. Oh, that's funny. Sorry. Can you see my screen now? Can anyone confirm?
Yes.
Perfect. I'm so sorry.
Yes.
So you guys didn't see anything from the beginning?
No.
Oh, I'm so sorry. So it was just like, okay. So yeah, this is my, that's how I look. This is my overall, last 8 years I've worked in these kind of companies: Auxidia, Intact, Immersive, P2IRC. And as I have already talked about those things, today we will talk about Azure AI, Azure Machine Cognitive Service, Custom Vision, and Conversational AI. Okay, I have already given like a small overview of AI. So I guess like this diagram is giving you a better idea. So AI is the main domain, where machine learning is a subdomain of AI, and then the deep learning is another subdomain of machine learning, and the data science is overlapping everything. So as we were talking about data, the category one, category two, category three. So category one data is the number or the tabular data. So suppose you have like information of loan approval. So you have all the information of individual clients, and based on their information, you will say the loan will be approved or not. So the data that you have, it's on a like a CSV like a file, or could be Excel, or could be in a tabular format. And then what category one data is doing, it's like a text or number based representation. And based on this kind of model, you're taking the decision whether that person will get the loan or not. It's a two-class classifier. So we call it classifier model. Or you have designed a model that is predicting how much insurance premium should I pay for my car next year. So the number that you're predicting based on my user behavior, my usage, my accidents, whether I did something or not, or my capability of my driving skill of last 2 or 3 or 4 years of the historical data, you're predicting it's $300, $400, $100. So that number is regression. Or you also like have time series data of your business that last year at this time the profit was $10. So you want to forecast what will be the profit of this year. So you have the time series data of previous few years. Based on these historical data, you're predicting the forecasted Profit will be suppose $500. So those forecast, those regression, those number prediction, those category like classification are falling under category 1 data. So the funny thing is 60% of the model in North America that are making money, that are in production, all of them are category 1. Then the category 2. So if as someone new who is thinking to build your career or have your skill in AI domain, I will suggest you to like focus the most in category 1 based application. And even the AI 900, you will get most of the questions are from category 1. And then the category 2, which is audio or speech to text or conversational data or the NLP. So 25% of the model in North America are category 2. So it falls into the chatbot, or even whenever we are talking to
Might be
Cortana or um, can any okay, it's better. The Cortana, or even like the Google Home or Alexa, whenever we are having the conversation with Alexa, we, can everyone please mute your microphone? Perfect. So yeah, I was hearing myself. So all those like applications that suppose Cortana or Alexa, when you're having the conversation, what Alexa is doing, you're saying, "Hey Alexa, what is the temperature of New York tonight?" So what Alexa is doing, it's converting that speech into text, and then it's finding key phrases. So here, tonight, New York, temperature. These three are the key phrases in one sentence. And then it is finding, doing the query, and then telling you the temperature for in New York tonight is 10 degrees Celsius. So this process is category 2 data. And then we also like if you are using iPhone or if you have used any kind of like image processing based app where you take the photo, you unlock your mobile based on the photo of your like that you have taken, or doing some segmentation or some kind of image processing to change the color or change something or finding some kind of pattern or object, those are falling under category 3 data, and 15% of the model in North American category 3. So in cognitive service, you will find face API, you will find computer vision API, you will find custom vision tool for image classification and object detection. They will be category 3. You will find NLP to text analytics. You will find Q&A, bot builder. You will find different kind of like translation model in cognitive service of Microsoft Azure. They are category 2. And the Azure machine learning that you will use, the designer one or the automated machine learning one, detecting anomaly from like a data that there was any fraud transaction or not, flagging those anomaly issues, they're falling under category 1 of Azure AI. So like category 1, category 2, and category 3, all of them are covered by Azure AI, and even like you will get questions on them on Azure AI 900 exam. Okay, just let me know if you guys have any question. I will just move forward one by one because I have a lot of to cover today. So before we jump in more detail about like randomly showing you guys the demo, I would love to give you a bit more idea about the market trend, what is happening, and why Azure AI or AI 900 has those cognitive service or AutoML or even like Q&A. So there are four types of like services people are building in the AI domain. One is platform as a service, the first one, which is suppose AutoML tools or Azure machine learning tools by Azure, AWS, Google, or there are a few other tools as well in North America. So what you will do as Microsoft Azure is providing you the computational capability, it's also providing you the everything else like the cloud infrastructure, the database. So it is also offering you a platform where you can use the data that you have already stored to train your model, and everything, all the plumbing is already done. You will just like select the data, select the computation, the model will be trained, and you can also host the model so that you can connect the model with your existing mobile app or web app. So this is called platform as a service. They're providing you the platform. And then the second one is AI model as a service. The cognitive services that we know, they are falling under the AI model as a service. So Microsoft did a market research, and then they found out like they selected 5 different domain. So vision, speech, language, knowledge, and search. So they are the main domain where people are using AI. And then on those domains, they also like find out what are the specific models that people need, all the industry need. And then they have added, developed those AI model and hosted them as a API, as a service. And then you can call those AI model as a model as a service. Like suppose if you upload, you have this photo, you want to find out the emotion of this guy. So what you will do, the model is already trained, everything is done. You will just upload the photo, send it to Microsoft Azure service, and as an API request, and the response will be something like this. This guy is 98% angry and this much neutral and sad. So in that case, you don't need to collect a massive amount of data to train your model. You don't need to do anything. You will just call the API, just RESTful service, and then send your image and get the result and show it on your mobile or web app. So this is AI model as a service. So we will get a lot of questions on AI model as a service as well in the AI 900, but they will be mostly on cognitive service, what kind of capabilities you can do, what is the maximum image that you can upload, what is the which API we should use, what are the capabilities of language or knowledge base that you can incorporate in your current application. So we will see some sample applications too. And the third one is internal R&D. Sometimes banking companies or insurance companies, they don't have they have very personal data, personalized data or secure data, or they're not allowed to upload those data in a public cloud or those kind of network. So what they do, they have lots of applications like machine learning and AI based to find out insurance premium, the payment issues, any kind of fraud detection, market transaction, market overall trend, the capital market forecasting, investment forecasting. So they do have their own internal R&D team. Instead of giving it to Microsoft Azure or AWS or Google, they do everything in-house. And the last one is there are companies that are also there are solutions that are not that you cannot develop using the platform as a service or model as a service. So in that case, you will design the custom application. So it's just an example of a custom application where you can have image processing, deep learning, or even data analysis and big data handling, everything. So my company does this kind of application where we design custom applications for other companies so that those companies, they don't need to hire 10, 15, 20 people. They will just hire us and we will do everything for them. So something like that. So these are the four market trends that we notice. So what Azure is targeting, Azure or Microsoft is targeting the first two, the platform as a service, which is providing the machine learning components. And the second one is AI model as a service, which is providing you all the computer vision, natural language processing, conversational AI, those cases. Any questions so far? Okay, I guess no. Then we will just move forward. So in AI 900, you will you will be asked to answer questions in one of the 5 domains. They are machine learning, anomaly detection, computer vision, natural language processing, and conversational AI. So the machine learning is the Azure machine learning tool. So on that one, you can write code using Notebook, Azure Jupyter Notebook, or you can use designer version of Azure ML, where you will drag and drop different components of machine learning and create your own model and the pipeline. Or you can just upload the data and everything else will be handled by the automated machine learning tool, and you will just get the model, see the model, and host the model. So this machine learning tool is working on category 1 data, so which is capable of doing classification, single 2-class classification or multi-class classification, regression to predict a single number, or the third one is time series forecasting to forecast what will be the temperature of next week, or what will be the your company's profit of next year. Someone muted me, I guess. So classification, regression, and time series forecasting. So these are the 3 domains that where you will have to answer a lot of questions in machine learning category. Second one is anomaly detection. Anomaly detection is the easiest one. You may get one or two questions. So anomaly detection is something where you will upload your data of, it could be like a like continuous series with the date and time, or it could be something else like a series of data, a continuous series where the Azure machine learning is like anomaly detection model is already trained. It is model as a service. It will just return you, hey, there were some anomalies in your data. This is the anomaly, this is the anomaly, this is the anomaly. So that suppose what is the use case of this anomaly? Suppose you are using your credit card in a regular basis. Your like regular transaction is 100 to $200. All on a sudden, if the AI model notice one transaction of $3,000, then that is not normal. Something is wrong. Maybe it's a fraud, like a transaction. So the AI model will flag that one as an anomaly of transaction, so that someone from the bank can call you, hey, there was a like an unusual transaction happened. You need to like see it. So that is an example of anomaly detection. Then you will get questions on computer vision based on how can you train your own model to classify between two classes. We will show an example as well. How can you train your model to find like detect object like landmark? It's like a Empire State Building, or this is Opera House, or something like that, or like find out similarities between two faces, or find out the predict the age, gender, or the expression of some of the like one of the face. So those are the example of computer vision. The natural language processing are mostly translation, speech to text, text to speech, those cases. And conversational AI is the bot framework. But before we jump into the demo session, I want to share like a few things. When you design your AI model, there are a few things that Microsoft is focusing a lot these days, which is responsible AI. So AI is not just a black box. If those people who thinks AI is a black box, to me, then that AI has a problem. These days, when we are designing any kind of AI model, we are designing it in a way where it needs to be transparent, it needs to be ethical, it needs to be unbiased, and it needs to like have all the categories qualities that we have mentioned here. So suppose your AI model needs to be fair. So you need to have fairness. Suppose if you design a model that is like unbiased based on the gender or the ethnicity or something else or the age group, in that case, that model is not fair. And if that model is a loan related, where someone with this profile, this ethnicity, this gender, this like belief will get the loan, but others won't get the loan. But again, when you are designing the AI model, you didn't notice that one. You just dumped all the data on the model training section, and you just trained it. But when you're training it, you need to see what is the balance of class of gender. So if your data has 80% are male, 20% are female, then that is not fair. Your model will be biased. Or your model is just designed on older people, or based there your model is taking some kind of data related to ethnicity, then this model is going to be biased towards the ethnicity. So you need to have the fairness. The model needs to be reliable and safe. Suppose you can design a model, and based on that model, you can say, oh, you have this disease. So if I just give an example, so once I worked in a mobile application that has a bunch of AI. So what it was doing, it was taking the photo of your human skin color, and based on your skin, the changes of the like the anomalies and the change of color pattern, it was telling I have this skin disease, or I don't have any skin disease, something like that. So when I designed that model, the dataset that I used were in South Asian people. But when I tried that same like model that is trained on South Asian people, on Canadian people, I noticed that it is completely biased, and it's even if someone is healthy without any skin disease, based on the color pattern of South Asian people, it's telling that Canadian person is has this kind of skin disease. So this is not reliable, and I could not use it. So when I'm doing the training, I need to like keep it in my mind. The privacy and security. When I'm designing using those facial API, I need to know in my mind that I'm not allowed to store the facial data of someone without taking the permission. So those are their personal data. So you can, in cognitive service, you are not storing the data. You're taking the photo, you're identifying the face, the predicting the gender, age, and also the expression. I'm happy or sad, but it's not storing the data. It's deleting it right away. So you are not allowed to store the data in your application as well. Inclusiveness. The model that we design needs to be needs to include everyone, all sorts of beliefs, all sorts of like ethnicity, all sorts of gender, all sorts of age group. So we need to keep it in our mind as well. Transparency, as I said, the model that we design in these days, we need to like give an explanation as well. There are different governing body. If you are designing some model for financial institutes, those governing bodies ask for transparency or the explainability of that model. Why your model is telling me my insurance premium should be $400. So we also create a full explanation of that model and give it to them so that the model is transparent and it's not a black box. And that black box, you cannot use it in production to take money from people. Accountability. So your model needs to be ethical and it needs to follow legal standard. So all the AI 900, you will get questions on those categories as well. Not too many, but few. So that you are designing AI that are responsible and also they're following all the criteria. Any question? Okay. So
Yes,
we
I
have
have
answered a lot.
one question.
Sure.
Hi, I just wanted to ask you, like, means in these six principles,
Mhm.
I am confused. Is it like this? Is it a requirement, or it is just like these are good to follow? For example, what I understand that apart from security and other law breaches, then you would
Mhm.
be held accountable. But apart
Yeah.
from that, like this fairness, if your model doesn't have any fairness, what would be the implication? Like, means is there any legal implication, or it still can be biased, but it still can be commercial?
So that is a great question. So what is happening? Big organizations like Microsoft, Google, they're trying to come up with a ethics board. So whenever you are designing an AI model and putting it in production and making money with that AI model, so you need to get approval from that ethics board. But again, right now it's not happening because different countries and different organizations are developing in different manner. So they are trying to have something like from government level, but for now it's your responsibility as a developer, as a human of the society, to design those models fair so that everyone will be benefited. So AI is, we are just thinking about just like a model, it's predicting something, but in future when there are thousands of models or millions of models that are involved with our lifestyle, so our life will be depending on those AI model, because how much money I can take, how much money I can like apply for loan, how much what kind of home I can afford, what kind of car I can afford. So all those things will be depending on those model, and if those models are not fair, then the society won't be fair. So it's like ethical point of view. But no, no one is gonna come to you and like police is not gonna follow you. But that's how like we see it.
And then one, sorry, one more question. Like,
Yeah.
thanks very much for that explanation. The connected question is that, like, is this six principles are just for if you are working on Azure, or if you are working just generally
Everything,
on
everyone.
AI,
Yeah, it's generally on
everyone.
AI.
So,
Yeah.
so then how is it going to be enforced? Because like means, although you mentioned that one case, if you are making some application and then there is a ethics board by Microsoft, but if it is out of the domain of Azure, then how is it going to be enforced now?
So suppose when I was showing the market trend, I also showed some other tools like DataRobot or Kepler or AWS or Google AutoML. So suppose DataRobot, it's a like a Boston-based company. They also provide the AutoML tool, but on their inside their tool, they're forcing you to follow this proper transparency. And once you train your model, it is also giving you a transparency report automated like automate, which is created automatically from the model, so that before putting it in production, you can also inform your management, hey, I'm putting this model in production and this is the reason why this is transparent and it is generated by this tool that you guys have bought.
Thanks very much. Thanks for
No
explanation.
worries. So yeah.
Cheers.
That's it. Those are the responsible AIs that you will get questions on, and also like we need to like follow that one. So now As I said, throughout our presentation, I will also like show some sample questions and ask some like question and answer as well. So this is the first one. So I'm just looking at the chat box and let me know what do you guys think, what is the answer. You want to create a model to predict sales of ice cream based on historical data that includes daily ice cream sales, totals, and weather measurements. Which Azure service should you use? Azure Machine Learning, Q&A Maker, Text Analytics. What is the answer? You guys can answer it on the chat. 1, 2, or 3.
Actually,
I'm gonna take 10 seconds because we still have a lot of things to cover. So far, no answer.
I think the chat option is disabled for few of us.
chat is disabled.
The chat is disabled. I think
Okay.
answer
So
option one is the
anyone help? Okay.
option one is the answer.
Option 1. Yes, perfect. Option 1 is the answer. So what Azure Machine Learning is doing, it's taking data from last historical data, and it is, as I said, it is predicting classification, regression, and time series forecasting. So this is falling under one of that category, which is Azure Machine Learning. Perfect. So now we will jump into the some demo and like we'll see some like Azure Machine Learning tool. Okay. Can you guys see my screen? I guess yes.
Yes.
Sorry,
Perfect.
one question
Sure.
I have, like, means I wanted to ask you for this exam specifically, not for the general information. Like, means are we going to going to have questions on like means showing models, or is just like means this exam is total theoretical?
There will be questions on how to design the model, which API to call, why you are using this. It's mostly combination of theory and the application, but you won't have to design model like by yourself during the exam. No, it's just like what is the like overall flow, what kind of pipeline you will have to use, why you are dividing the data into like splitting the data for training purpose, testing purpose, what is the ratio of training and testing like split, so those things.
Thank you so much. Thanks very much.
No worries. Yeah. So okay, this is the Azure Machine Learning. So they have completely changed that one. It's ml.azure.com. So you can see the first thing is there are like three categories of machine learning application development. One is notebook, one is automated machine learning, one is designer. So most of the questions that you will get in this exam will be from the automated machine learning and designer. And also there are assets. On that assets, there are like data sets, experiments, pipeline, and previous things. And then the manage, you have the compute, data source, data labeling. The first thing we will see is the compute. So you will see, you will get few questions from this category. You can see that compute instance, compute cluster, compute inference cluster. So what is compute instance? So when, as a data scientist, when you are opening, like hosting your own notebook and writing code on that Jupyter notebook, you need to have some kind of CPU or GPU based machine to run that code. So the compute instance that you will create will be the one that will work with your Jupyter notebook. Then you have, when you are doing the training using the designer or automated machine learning, you are just uploading the data and all the training, everything is done by the automated machine learning. But you need to select some kind of like compute cluster or machine or VM to do the automated machine learning approach. So that training cluster is compute cluster. Then the third one is inference cluster. So once you train your model and you are confident that this model is giving really good result and you want to put it in production. So what you will have to do is you will create inference cluster. It's just like the way you created the compute cluster. It's another VM and you will take the model, host it on that VM so that it will be exposed as a REST API. Your existing web or mobile app will be able to use that one. And attached compute is to attach extra like compute for your edge inside VM, Databricks, those cases. Okay, so as we will do some like try some like small training, we will select like compute cluster. how to create a compute cluster. We will have to like whatever the region is created, the CPU. We're just selecting one like a normal basic model, basic VM, and then I'm just giving Azure India 1, suppose 0, and it's 1 because that's the maximum node I have. And that's it. I can have like a certification on all the other like advanced security stuff, but I don't want to do that right now because I just want to like play with it. So yeah, it's done. It takes a couple of minutes to create the Azure trading instance. So you can see it's already creating. It's like a standard D3 B2. So now the thing is like I want to upload a data set and then I want to do some kind of training. So what kind of data set we can upload, or we can just like go and like see here. Automated machine learning, we can like create a new AutoML. It's telling me to create select a data set. So I am just like, there are like 4 ways: local data file, local data store, web file, or even like open data set. I'm just selecting, or even you can connect table that is hosted in the Azure managed instance. You can also connect blob storage. You can also like connect data lake with your Azure machine learning. So I'm just selecting a like local file. Then the dataset name is suppose something ABC. Currently selected, yes. I will just like select something where I have, or I will use that one later. So suppose Titanic CSV. I have just selected that one just to show it's a CSV file. I'm not skipping it, keeping it. Next, and you will see it's done. It's parsing the data, and it is also like selected all the other metadata information and giving me like a small like look of the data set. How many columns are there? What kind of data are they? And everything. So you can see the data visualization here to get have the confirmation that yes, this is the model. And also you can exclude some kind of like some like column or include some column. Suppose this one, I want to like exclude this one for no reason, or if I want to, there's some reason I can also do that. Or suppose something else, this one, example. So once I'm sure this is the model, I will just like the data set is ready. I will just click yes. I can also create a profile of the data set. When I'm creating the profile, I select a computation. I'm selecting the one that I just created, the compute cluster, and then it's done. So it's creating the data set and it's using the compute cluster to create a profile of the data set. So it's happening in the background. You don't need to see. Now, as we are creating an automated machine learning, we have selected the data, we have selected the compute cluster, uploaded the data, and we can just like click next, and then we can create a new one. Suppose Azure India 1, 2. We can select a column name suppose 2. The compute cluster, the cluster that we have already created is Azure India. And we can also like create another cluster from here too. But for now, nothing. And then next. So as we said, Azure Machine Learning can develop 3 types of applications, AI application, machine learning application. One is classification, one is regression, one is time series. Classification, you are uploading all the data. It's telling you, so this Titanic data set has 2 values as a prediction, whether based on these data, this person will survive or not. So it's a 2-class classifier. If there were some situation where there were 8 decision, not even like survive or not, or if there were like 8 classes, that will also be classifier, but multi-class classifier. You can also enable deep learning. If you are predicting a number like insurance premium, what will be the insurance premium of this person, of this user, it will be regression model. Or as we also discussed, that if you want to predict the like the profit of next year of your ice cream shop, it will be time series forecast. So it's very easy. If we just click next, or we just selected the classification and the target column, it will automatically do the feature analysis, feature engineering, and everything will be done here. So it is very easy to do. So if I just like show an example, like let it run. If I just show a previous example, that will be better. So suppose this one. After running the entire experiment, we will get a result like that. It's completed. So all the metadata information, it is also telling me the accuracy is 87%. It is forcing a few things. When we talked about the responsive AI, we were talking about class balancing, to be fair. So it is automatically checking your class balancing. It's yes, balanced. If there is any missing feature value imputation, it's always checking it as well. It's also like checking few other things. So, and as I said, in automated machine learning, you will just upload the data and everything else is done by the Azure machine learning. It has applied a bunch of 56 models on the data that you have provided, SGD, LightGBM, Random Forest, XGBoost, and then it has selected Max App Scalar XGBoost classifier as the best model for this specific data and approach, which is 87% accuracy. It's also telling you, giving you the explanation as well. And you will see the output log, the everything else. And when you click the model, so the model that you have this like selected, which is this one, click this. You will get option where you can, okay, this is very good model, everything is done, I'm ready, I want to deploy this model in production as well. So you would just click deploy and you can select ABC2, suppose example. It's there are two types of cluster, compute type, Azure Kubernetes cluster, AKS, or Azure Container Instance, ACI. So if you, as you are doing in-house local testing or UAT environment, those are ACI. But when you are doing actual big cluster of like production environment, it will be Azure Kubernetes Service. So ACI, everything is done. I can just click and it's deployed. So even the deployment will be done in few minutes as well. Yeah, there are some like request resource issue. So it's when I if I had no resource issue, then it would have been like done like very easily without any issue. So yeah, and then the explainable, when we are designing the model, as I said, the model needs to be explainable as well. If the model is a black box, then we cannot use that. It's not ethical. So there is an explanation category tab where it is also telling you why it is giving you 87% accuracy. What are the most important features here, which is working as the decision maker. So those informations are available as well through the Azure AutoML. Okay, so as this one is done, and the second one is Designer. So we have seen the compute, data uploading, data set, experiment, like an automated machine learning, all these steps. Now the Designer is when we are doing the automated machine learning, you guys have noticed that there were like 56 run out there. We just uploaded the data once and selected classification, and all those things are done manually, automatically by the automated machine learning. But in case of Designer, what happened? You do everything like manually. So suppose if I just select this one, a regressional model. So it is a sample example. I'm not doing it like a one by one. So you see all these steps that we that happen automatically. Here, all these steps are manual. So you are, this is the data. So if I just like, this is the CSV file that we have uploaded. This is another one, but this is a similar CSV file. If we click, we can see the CSV, the data. So it is just a similar format where there are like columns, rows, and all the information. And then what you do, once you upload the data, you select the columns. Sometimes you exclude some column. So here they have excluded one column, this one. And then there could be some garbage value or missing value. Then they have added manually the clean missing data. So how do you add it? So you will just like search clean missing data. So here it is. You can just drag and drop. So that's it. Once you drag and drop that one, you take this one and like connect this one, suppose like this, or you can just like connect this one with another one. So we don't need this for now, as I'm just giving a like a show like sample example. So okay. So once you have cleaned your data, then you are also splitting your data. Why do you need to split your data? Because what happened in machine learning, when you upload the data, you need to like divide the data into three parts. One is training, one is validation, one is testing. You use 70% of the data as training data, 15% of the data as the validation data, and 15% as testing. So your model will be trained based on those 70% of the data. Here on the split, you can see 0.7 that I have selected, which is the 70% of the training data. Rest of the 30% are 70% is going here, which is train model section. Rest of the 30% are going here, which is for the testing purpose, to see the model that you have trained, it is good or bad. And then you have also the training. As you have taken the model, here you will do the training part. But what kind of training you are doing? In automated machine learning, the training was done automatically on 56 using 56 different models. Here, it's happening manually. So you need to select the algorithm. So if you replicate that automated machine learning approach, you will have to have say 56 pipeline. So in Azure ML, we call this one a pipeline, and you need to have 56 pipeline just like this, so that you can replicate all these steps of this that Azure machine learning approach, and then you can do like a comparison or create a leaderboard to make a comparison. So for this example, it's just a linear regression, as it is it's just predicting the single value. So it's a linear regression. It's not doing any classification or multi-class classification. So you're connecting this one and this one with this train model. And then once you train the model, you need to see how good or bad my model is. So to see how good or bad my model is, you need to connect it with the score model, where the score model will take the trained model and also the 30% of the data that you reserve for your testing purpose. And then score model will take the testing data and send it to the trained model to see whether it's predicting well or not. Whatever it's predicting, the result will be showed in the evaluate model. That's why you're connected another one to create all the AOC graph, ROC curve, and everything. So that is the overall approach of single pipeline of Azure Machine Learning Designer. But all the approaches are manual, like automatically done in automated machine learning. So this is the difference between like designer section and the automated machine learning section. And you will get a lot of questions regarding evaluate model, score model, what kind of train model, what kind of split you need to do, why do you need to do this, what kind of algorithm you need to use with the train model. So something like that. What are the components that will be with the train model? So something like that. And also in automated machine learning, once you train the model, the model is ready, you put it in production, you also like see different kind of like metrics. So like results, that is also important. So those results to justify there's a good model or bad model, like accuracy, F1 score, AUC score, so those things. So I want to see show the ROC curve. So here, this is the the data of your model, and this is a one single line. So what does this line represent? So the farther your values are from this line, it means the better the training has happened. So it means it's a good model. If your data was closer to this point, then it means it's almost 100% accurate. But it's here, it's 87% accurate. You can see it from here, this one. But if this line was here, it means it's 50% accurate. We call it random selection when it's 50%. And if this curve was below this, which is it's worse than random. So you need to like keep it in your mind as well. And also like their lift curve, calibration curve, and also like confusion metrics like true positive, true negative, false positive, false negative, those things. So yeah, and once if we as we had the computational issue, otherwise we could have seen the deployment after doing the deployment here as a model in production. And it will also, when you click that one, you will also see the API endpoint, all the other information that you can use and like connect the RESTful API with your existing mobile or web app to do the prediction and use the model. So that is a simple example, simple demo of the of our Azure machine learning. So based on this demo, we will also ask some question. And as the chat is disabled, you guys can unmute and like ask me, or yeah.
Yeah. Rahat, first question, thanks
Sure.
very much. This training is really good. I am enjoying it and then learning a lot. The thing is, you mentioned that first of all, can you actually give some examples in what cases the automated run is okay, feasible, and when we are opting for manual one? That's first question. And then second question is that you advise that there is a ratio of 70, 15, 15 for for sampling, testing data, validation, and then actual final run. So is there is it a rule, or we can change that as well?
You can change that one, but it is a rule of thumb. So to design a good model that will do good prediction, good training, good learning, 70% is the ideal approach, 70-30 split, where you have enough data to test the model, enough data to validate the model as well during the training process, but at the same time, your model will have enough data to train itself. So 70-30 is the rule of thumb. So that's what everyone follows. If you don't want to have validation, you can use 85-20, 85-15 as well. So it's up to you. You will the more you will train, the more you will have the intuition, the idea of your own split based on your data. And the first question is automated machine learning versus manual. So it also depends on your use case. If you are not familiar with all the algorithm, if you don't want to fine tune it in low level, you just want to upload the data and you want everything to be done in a standard approach, and you're okay with that, you will go with automated machine learning. But you are a data scientist where you are not just developing the model, you are doing the data processing, you are doing data analysis, you are doing something more, something further, and you are going down very deep down to do small analysis by yourself to generate different kind of results. Then you will do it manually. Even
Thank you
you
so
can
much.
write code using Jupyter Notebook as well and do all those steps by writing code.
Thank you so much, Rahat. Thanks a lot.
No worries. Yeah. So now the second question. An automobile dealership wants to use historical car sales data to train a machine learning model. Okay. The model should predict the price of a pre-owned car based on its make, model, engine size, and mileage. What kind of machine learning model should the leadership use automated machine learning to create? So what kind of machine learning model they should use that will predict the value?
Regression.
Classification.
It's regression. So what classification is doing, it's classifying between two classes, but here you are predicting something more. So you are predicting what kind, the value of the model, the value of the car based on the model, the engine size, and the mileage. So you are predicting a number. So a number prediction is done by regression. Okay, thank you for participating. The third one, a bank wants to use historical loan repayment record to categorize loan applications as low risk or high risk based on characteristics like the loan amount, the income of the borrower, the loan period. What kind of machine learning model should the dealership use? Should the dealership use?
Is
So
it classification?
Classification.
it is classification. Perfect.
Classification.
Because you're classifying whether it's like a low risk or high risk, something like that. And the next one, you are creating, it's like a complicated one, a bit further. You're creating a training pipeline for a regression model using a dataset that has multiple numeric columns in which the values are on different scale. You want to transform the numeric columns so that the values are all on a similar scale based relative to the minimum and maximum values in each column. Which module should you add to the pipeline on a design?
Normalized data.
Normalizing. So you're normalizing the data to have them in the same class based on maximum minimum values of each column, so that the data is not there won't be any outlier or it won't be noisy. Perfect. The fifth one, You use Azure Machine Learning Designer to create a training pipeline and an inference pipeline for a regression model. Now you plan to deploy the inference pipeline as a real-time service. What kind of compute target should you create to host the service?
Compute cluster.
Cluster,
Second.
compute cluster.
So compute cluster is something is used for training. Compute instance is something that you use with your Jupyter notebook to write everything by yourself. And inferencing cluster is something that you use to create the inferencing pipeline. So it is an inferencing pipeline, inference cluster, because you have already trained the model using compute cluster. Now you want to put it in production, and that will be inferencing cluster. Perfect. And the last one, there will be a few more in another category. So you are using Azure Machine Learning Designer to create a training pipeline for a binary classification. You have added a dataset containing features and labels, a two-class decision forest module, and a train model module. You plan to use score model and evaluate model modules to test the trained model with a subset of the dataset that was not used for training. Which additional kind of module should you add?
Split data.
Perfect. It's split data because we need to have the training part, we need to have the testing part. Once we do the training, we will and we are getting the training data after the splitting, and also the rest of them will be for testing. So split data. Oh, there is another one. So you use an Azure Machine Learning Designer pipeline to train and test a binary classification model. You review the model's performance metrics in an evaluate model module. And note that it has an AUC score of 0.3. What can you conclude about the model? The model can explain 30%. The model predicts accurately for 70%, or the model performs worse than random. So when I was showing the AUC curve, if you remember, there was one middle graph, like a line. If it is going through that line, it's 0.5, which is random. If it is more, our one is 87%. It was far from that line. So which was, if I just go back, that will be easier to explain.
Number
I believe.
3.
It's number 3.
Number 1.
Number 1. Everyone is already confused. That was the purpose of
number
this.
3.
It's so slow. Perfect. So here, this is the AUC score. So it was 87% for us, which is good. If it was here, it's 100%. If it was here, in 50%. It's below here. Then what will be the answer? Some people say number 3. So let's see the answer.
Number 3.
Number 3. So it's below that random value, which means the model performs worse than the random guessing. And the last one for this section is you are using an Azure Machine Learning Designer pipeline to train and test a K-means cluster model. You want your model to assign items to one of the 3 clusters. So what is K-means doing? K-means is a cluster algorithm. So which it's like a unsupervised model, like unsupervised AI machine learning approach. So you take all the data and you split the data based on the value. And here, the data is automatically split into 3 different sections. So after doing it, what it does is it creates set number of centroids to 3, or random, or iteration. K-means doesn't work on random. It works based on the data. So iteration is nothing. It's a garbage value. But it should be number 1. Set number of centroid to 3 so that it is properly justified and it's well clustered. So it's 3. So you guys will get this kind of questions. They are like not too hard, but if you go through the Azure Machine Learning, play with it, you will see how easy it is. So the now is custom vision. So I will rest of the part will take 15 to 20 minutes. So this is custom vision AI. So it's also like a Microsoft Azure machine learning part where you can train your own image processing model. So let's do it first within talking. So image process. It's a cluster like resources T1, okay, that I have already created. It's a classification. We can do 2 types of model here. classification, object detection. So what is classification? So the experiment that we will do, it will detect, like learn how a cat looks like and how a dog looks like, and it will classify between cat and dog. If it was something else, if we wanted to detect an animal or car or human, then those are, you can consider those as object. That is an object detection model. But here it's classification. It's a multi-class but single tag at a general domain. Click create. It's done. It's very easy. If you do it manually by yourself, it takes hours. So loading the project. Okay, the model, the project is ready. Now it's empty. We will add image. Let's add image. I will select here. I have a small, no, not this one. Sorry. Add image. Here, this is class 1, which is 100 cat images. I really like cat and the dog as well. So upload 101 cat image. So you will see it's very fast as well. And the training, there are 2 types of training that happens here. One is advanced training, or one is from something like something scratch. So we will do the advanced training, which will be retrained on a pre-trained model. So what is the pre-trained model? I will talk in 2 minutes. Dog. So what is a pre-trained model? So as you want, like the more model we are designing, what we have noticed that we need a lot of data to create or train this kind of AI model. So now scientists or researchers come up with the approach where the basic training will be done on basic applications or basic data. You will just select retrain the existing model with your own like new data. So here, that is what is happening, a quick training. So not the advanced one. If I just click train, it will be done. It will take few minutes to train it, and you will see it will take, the accuracy will be very high as well. As there are only 2 classes, and the cat and dog looks very different from each other. And I didn't even provide enough images as well. It will show maybe 100% accuracy. So that's how we do it. We can even like put this model in production using the custom vision, and it also like takes a few minutes to do it. And we won't even have to like write code for that. Okay, if I just go back, there is one question on custom vision. And the last one will be cognitive service. Okay, you want to train a model that classifies images of dogs and cats based on a collection of your own digital photographs. Which Azure service should you use? Bot service, custom vision, computer vision?
Custom vision.
Custom vision.
Perfect. So yes, you will get this kind of questions as well. So yeah, and then we will see some thing about like cognitive service, as we are already 1 hour done. So let it continue. So the cognitive service, this is also like an important part when you are like preparing for the AI 900 exam. So it's not like you will have to do it by yourself. It's mostly using those API, as I explained at the beginning, AI model as a service. So it's like that. So there are 5 categories: decision, language, speed, vision, and web search. So the decision one is anomaly, as I said before, where you will just like send your like data using the API. It's like there's not much demo to show for those. You add automatically, the anomaly detection model will flag those issues. This is an anomaly, this is an anomaly, and it will also like tell you. So all those things is already done. You will just send a stream of data and done. Content moderator is something if your this image content has any kind of like nudity or like that kind of like content or unusual for 18 below 18 like users, then you can check those stuff automatically using content moderator. Personalizer, it's kind of like based on your application use case, you can have your own personalizer model so that you can show like recreate the UI and those information. You guys will like go through it and like dig more. There are language model for the NLP, where the Q&A maker, the bot framework, the text analytics, like finding this sentence is positive or negative. What are the key phases of this sentence? So what is the key phase? When I said that when you're telling Google Home or Alexa, hey, what is the temperature of New York tonight? So New York, temperature, tonight, these three values are called key phases. So Alexa, take those, identify those key phases and then apply name entity. Here, the name entity is New York, and also they find out that temperature of New York tonight based on the time or state. Then it tells you the temperature of New York is 10 degrees. So those specific approaches are done by text analytics. You can also use translator to translate from 60 different languages, one to another one, and language understanding. Speech is very generic, speech to text, text to speech, those cases. Even there is one interesting thing that has been added recently. If I just like show that one. So you can speak in English and your English could be converted into Chinese while through that process, and then you will hear the Chinese. So what is happening? You are saying English, it will convert into English to English text, and then from English text or machine translation, it will translate into like Chinese, and then it will apply text to speech to tell you the Chinese or even Hindi or even like some other language. So that part is also like here with speech to text approach. So multiple models are combined in those APIs. And then the computer vision, as we have seen, the computer vision is like OCR, where you will, it's like a small paper where something is written. You can see a computer vision API can translate into like convert into like a text, or even find out what is on that image. It can tell you it's a human and it's like a skateboard. So those things are those individual content analysis can be done with the computer vision API. There are facial recognition as well, where you will just take the photo and send it to the API, and it will tell you what is the name of the person and those things. I should have an image. If I just like try, or I can just like check this dog image as well. So let's see what happened. Oh, there is no face. So that's detected because it's a dog, it's not a human. If I just like, I should have of one of my image, hopefully, or someone like that. The size is too, it should be too small actually. If I try with another image, just to see. Suppose it's mine. You can see the image is uploaded. It has detected my face. It's telling me all those things. There is a multiple model. There is detection one model. It tells the color of my hair. It tells all the other information, my gender male, the no glass detected, and all the other information. So that is under the computer vision. And the form recognizer. So form recognizer is something. It is also like a very important, like interesting model that Microsoft has built, where you will upload all your like this kind of like receipt. It will be automatically converted like this in proper format, or this kind of like old documents. It will be automatically converted into this kind of format. So those things are done automatically by the API. You won't have to do anything. Just use the RESTful API, upload it, and done. So just like a sample example question, you want to use speech service to build an application that reads incoming email messages, subjects allowed. Which API should you use? Email to like it's read, like which one should you?
Text to speech.
Text speech.
Text to speech.
Speech. Perfect. And then the next one is you are developing an application that must take English input from a microphone transcription in Hindi. Which service should you use? So it's not
Speech.
translation, it's not text analytics, it's speech. So as I said, on that speech model, there are multiple like models are already combined. So you won't have to do anything. You will just like call one and use all of them. And the last one is bot service. I'm not giving any demo of that one. It's very easy. There are like two types of bot. So what you can do is you have a frequent asked questions like document in your company. So you can use those generate like existing fact document or your web page, or you have a predefined chit chat question answer, or even like you manually answer like add question and answer those pair and then upload it to the bot knowledge base. That knowledge base will have all the information that you will provide. It will apply when you train it, it will apply different kind of like text analytics module, and then when you deploy it, it will and reply with proper approach. So suppose if you ask a question where is your office, and like the answer of that Q&A, the knowledge base is so you provided this kind of pair. So what is the location of my office? It's in New Delhi. And whenever a new person is asking question, where is the office? So your question that you provided is something else. Where is the location of my office? But someone asked, where is my office? So what Q&A does, Q&A takes that new sentence and match it using the text analytics and NLP, and then find out, hey, these two have the same intent and same the same response should come, and the response that the person will get is New Delhi. So that is the value of this Q&A maker, where you will provide all the information, you will create the knowledge base, and then you will connect that knowledge base with the bot framework to create those chatbot. And you can also deploy those chatbots in multiple channels like Slack, Microsoft Teams, or Facebook Messenger, or those cases. If I just like ask a question, so your organization has an existing frequent asked questions document. You need to create a Q&A maker knowledge base that includes the question and answer from the fact with the least possible effort. What should you do? Create an empty knowledge base and then manually copy and paste the FAQ entries into it. Import the existing FAQ document into a new knowledge base, or import a predefined chit chat data source. Second one. Existing document. Second one. Import the existing fact document. So that's it. I wanted to give it keep the presentation in 1 hour. It's 1 hour 15 minutes, but that's fine. We saw all the Azure machine learning. We saw cognitive service. We saw this kind of anomaly detection, this kind of cognitive service based approach. We also saw custom vision, and also we talked a bit about bot framework. So all the questions that you will get from AI 900, they will be similar to this, as we just covered 12 questions. So they will be similar to this. It's it's not too deep. It's like how to use that product, how to use that API, what are the flows, and what are the issues. So that's it. And I believe after spending 1 or 2 days or 3 days max, playing a bit with the API, everyone will pass that exam. And yeah, and we'll thank to the organizer who are organizing this event. And let me know if you guys have any question. You guys can contact me through LinkedIn or through Twitter. Feel free to add me, or if you have any custom AI based idea or application, if you want to discuss, feel free to do that as well. I'm always up for it. Thank you.
Hello, Rahat. Can I ask you a question?
Sure, please.
Rahat, actually, my background is I'm a non-technical, means I am from a different industry. I am in finance and accounting. So just trying to learn AI, and then I am just thinking about if taking this exam would be good for knowledge building as well as for improving my profile.
Yes. So what is happening in these days? The way the AI market is moving, whether you are a programmer or a researcher or a scientist, you will need AI. So, and AI is not just for those roles. Suppose you're a banker or even a retail store owner, you need to do sales forecast. You will use this kind of AI application. That is why Microsoft is building this kind of easy to use tools to democratize AI approach. And the way AI is involving in our lifestyle, in 3 to 5 years from now on, everyone will use it. Having this knowledge, passing this exam, having the idea, it will always help you in your career, and it will be a plus when you move to a new role or like a new job. So yeah.
Thanks. Another connected question is that, like, for example, if I'm working in an organization which is not actually using Azure as a cloud, facility, it is either using a competitor or not using these defined things, or using in-house servers, and still trying to be automated through AI. The knowledge that I gain from this specific exam, can it be a transferable skill or not?
Yes, you can. So as I said at the beginning, everyone is developing either platform as a service or model as a service. So even if it's a platform as a service, all the approaches, all the life cycle, AI application development life cycle that you will learn from this approach is same. It's just the tool is different, the UI is different, the approach is a bit different, but the overall thing is the same. So once you learn it, to accommodate your knowledge into other cases, it will be very easy for you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Any other question? Okay. If not, then I will thank everyone for attending, and we'll end it here. It was a lot of content to show. I hope it was useful for everyone. Thank you. Sure, go ahead.
From where should I read for prepare for this exam, AI 900? Which online material would be sufficient enough to pass the exam?
So go to AI 900, search on Google that AI 900. You will get an exam link. You will also get an online training option. Go through those online training options. All those things that I have covered here, they're already there. You will learn a bit more detail and create your Azure account. Create an account for ml.azure.com, custom vision, play with the custom vision toolkit. That's it.
Okay. Thank you.
And all these steps are on that link as well.
Okay.
Rahat, I will add you to the LinkedIn. And
sure.
Then thanks very much. Really appreciate your help. It was a fascinating. And thanks for the organizers who have actually organized this wonderful session. Thanks very much.
Perfect. Thank you. No worries. Okay, we will end it here. Thank you. Thank you everyone for attending.